Good afternoon. Great to have you with us here on 13 News at 4 today. I'm Dustin Grove.
And I'm Felicia Lawrence, and we start with the break Hoosier drivers have been getting on gas taxes, the cost to local communities, and when they'll get the money they lost.
Remember, the money we've saved at the pump the last few months because of the gas tax suspension would have gone to local governments to pay for road projects. Today, Brandon Schaff learned how cities were affected and how the state plans to replenish those funds to fix our roads.
Funds are on the way to local governments across Indiana. They'll be reimbursed for lost money to fix roads due to the ongoing gas tax holiday. The state authorized $121 million from the State Highway Fund to pay back local governments for their infrastructure projects. This covers lost tax revenue between April 8th and May 31st.
This was just a pause, and those revenues that didn't get there will all be replenished. So that's a win-win.
The gas tax is distributed to local governments for infrastructure construction and maintenance and public works operations. Indy DPW says they lost about $7.8 million in infrastructure funding between April and June. So far, they did not need to cancel or change any programs. In Noblesville, there's ongoing construction right by the square. The Noblesville mayor says the gas tax is one of several streams for their local road and street fund. He says they already lost about $1 million in road funding due to property tax changes under Senate Enrolled Act 1. So every dollar counts right now.
We certainly don't want to see another hit on that. I know our citizens don't want to as well. So we're going to continue moving forward, and I appreciate the governor making us whole.
Jensen says infrastructure investment is essential for economic growth and the quality of life for Noblesville's nearly 81,000 residents.
We've seen incredibly rapid growth the last couple of years. We've done that strategically with plans in place, road networks to support that growth, but we rely on different funding sources in order to achieve those goals. So if one of those funding sources are disrupted, we have to have a plan in place to continue to maintain that going forward.
Noblesville budgets years in advance and has a long-term transportation plan. Jensen says no infrastructure projects were paused during the gas tax holiday. Brandon Schaff, 13 News.
And Indy DPW says reimbursement should be complete by November 1st.
A local father is in jail this afternoon accused of killing his 3-month-old daughter. It happened last weekend. According to court records, the father called 911 when he noticed his daughter wasn't breathing normally. She died days later at Riley Hospital for Children. Police say the father told them she'd overheated in the car, but a doctor claims the child suffered 3 separate brain bleeds and other injuries. The father denies the abuse allegations.
Happening tonight, the Yorktown community is remembering rising boxing star Hannah Rapp. The Delaware County native died over the weekend in Texas when she was hit by a car. Rapp's loved ones are supporting a petition for Hannah's Law in Texas. It calls for stricter rules for repeat offenders since the man accused in her death has prior violent charges. Today's vigil kicks off at 9:30 tonight at Morrill's Meadow Pavilion, and people are encouraged to wear bright colors.
Overnight, the U.S. launched new strikes against Iran. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is facing more questions about the rising cost of it all.
Garrett Hake has the details as the Pentagon asked Congress for an additional $70 billion.
American forces pounding targets in Iran again as the conflict appears to be swinging back towards full-scale war. The president now saying U.S. strikes against the Iranian regime he has repeatedly declared defeated are far from over.
We're not finished at all, but if we left right now, it would take them a long time, years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now.
The president adding that he won't let the political impact of the increasingly unpopular war on the approaching midterms affect his decision-making.
I'm just going to do the right thing. I don't view it as, gee, we're having an election in a period of time.
Iran also stepping up attacks on U.S. allies in the region, targeting Amazon's data infrastructure in Bahrain and radar systems in Kuwait. This as the Trump administration provides a staggering new price tag for the conflict, $37.5 billion. But an internal Pentagon estimate shows the true cost could be as high as $100 billion, according to 3 U.S. officials and 3 people familiar with the matter. That figure includes the cost of repairing damaged U.S. bases, replacing destroyed aircraft, and fully replenishing expended American weaponry.
Pursuing a nuclear capability.
In a fiery Senate hearing, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth asking for nearly $70 billion more to fund the war.
This is a new request based on new realities of a world we face.
The defense secretary facing pointed questions from some members of President Trump's own party.
We need some hard answers and some straight talk.
And clashing with Democrats about the way forward.
You, sir, are the failure. You don't have a long-term plan to actually win this war. Win the war. The men and women are going to be able to do it, but they need to have leadership. When will you show leadership?
Why don't you show some leadership and stand up to your fellow Democrats who won't fund the troops, who stand and play partisan politics?
And it comes as the human cost is also growing, with 18 American service members killed in the war so far. The Pentagon overnight identifying one of the troops believed to have been killed in action at a base in Jordan as 28-year-old Sergeant Angel Rampersad.
All right, to be continued. Now let's take you to the near west side of Indianapolis. We've got an update today on the Henry Street Bridge construction project. Not so much the actual work going on, but the name. Indy's Department of Public Works wants to give the bridge a new one. It'll be renamed, if approved, the Green Lawn Memorial Bridge to honor Green Lawn Cemetery, which is the city's very first public burial ground. It's up to the Board of Public Works to approve the name change. As for the bridge work, it'll connect the near west side to downtown between Washington and Oliver Streets. It's a $40 million project. It is expected to wrap up sometime late next year.
Well, today, Governor Mike Braun is celebrating some new investments in arts and culture across Indiana.
Just last week, he awarded a total of 49 grants for projects all over the state. And they say this really recognizes that art and culture are indicators of a healthy, growing community.
So the governor says these 49 projects are expected to generate over $369 million. They will revitalize and develop new entertainment venues, support learning spaces, and create art and exhibits across the state.
We are in a place right now as Hoosiers with all the stuff that's seemingly culminating in a synergy among businesses, communities. We've got a lot of good years ahead of us.
There are 4 projects already underway right now. And encouraging middle schoolers to take the reins of their future. That's the goal of a 3-day minicamp here in Indy. This afternoon, IMPD partnered with Take the Reins Youth Stable for Life. As these kids get closer to high school, this nonprofit wants them to develop skills that go beyond the classroom. So they're given a rather unique opportunity. At camp, students not only learn about horseback riding, but they learn how to build the foundation for confidence and hard work. IMPD says this partnership reflects their ongoing commitment to investing in Indy youth.
What a cool opportunity, huh?
Yeah, get up close with animals. Yeah, therapeutic.
I hope they were able to get outside. Sean, was this the best day of the year?
It gets my vote. I know.
I mean,
top 5 for you.
It does not get much better than this.
No.
It's very comfortable.
I woke up this morning, first thing I did, AC's off, windows open.
Those windows?
Yeah.
And his kids are freezing. He said, go put on a sweater.
And it's going to be even cooler tomorrow morning, so we'll see what kind of shape they're in. But I know you and I are loving it, partner. We're going to take advantage of it, too, and it comes with some good air quality, which is something we haven't had a chance to say for a while. It would have been nice if this was Brickyard. It certainly would have been comfortable at the track. It will, in true Brickyard fashion, become hot and more humid over the weekend. But right now it is awesome in my opinion. 74. We have a dew point of 51. It was down as low as of about 45 at one point in time. North wind coming off of Lake Michigan, so we do have some lake effect clouds. Temperatures compared to 24 hours ago, a good 15 degrees cooler. But the big difference maker, in my opinion, is this map right here. The muggy meter has really dropped. It is comfortable air, and that allows us to give the ACs a break. And as I mentioned, even though we have that north wind, the fires in southwestern and western Ontario have been dampened a good deal with some rainfall. So air quality right now is good. That may change. Late weekend, we'll wait and see. There's some big fires now that are ongoing across parts of Oregon, West Washington, and east of Vancouver. Some of that may get blown downstream over the weekend. We'll tackle that in a little bit. Let's take care of business here this evening. It is going to be pleasant. Anything you're doing, maybe you're going to the Fever game, quiet and cool, 8 o'clock tip-off heading home. Temperatures are going to drop pretty quickly here. We'll be bottoming out tomorrow morning in the 40s and 50s before we start to see the temperature pendulum swing in a warmer direction going into the weekend. I'll have more on that in our next storm chance ahead in the 7-day forecast.